Many wanted me to try it out. Now it's here, the Vivo X200 Pro. So welcome to this unboxing and first look. So let's get started. So this has been sent to me by Tradingshenzhen. Thank you for this. So this is a Chinese version of the Vivo X200 Pro. There will be a global version coming pretty soon, hopefully. If you get it from Tradingshenzhen, you get, of course, a nice testing card that will see. As you can see here, they will check everything, every device before they send it out to you so that you know you get a device that is working. So I have the device already here as a testing device, so someone else already unwrapped it, but this is like the screen, as you can see here. And it comes, of course, with a few extras, just like a case, as you see here. There's a SIM eject tool as well as some paperwork. It's a pretty nice case, as you see here. It has like some kind of texture there on the inside. And somewhere definitely a Vivo logo as well there. So there you can see it, pretty nice. And same color as the device. Then we have a USB A to C cable. Yes, they switched the C to C cable to an A to C cable. I don't know why, maybe to save a little bit of cost. Introducing this 90-watt charger that comes included in the box there. As well, the Vivo supercharger, how's it called there? Supercharger, flash charger actually. So 90-watt charger there as well. And then we have the device. Let me get the device. As you can see here, this gorgeous blue version here that, especially in the light, shines completely different. Sometimes there you can see it. And some fingerprints, of course, already on it. But yeah, there we go. Large camera bump still. It's not as huge as the one on the X100 Ultra that I'm filming here right now with, but you can see already the large 200 megapixel sensor here, periscope sensor there on the top left. And yeah, flash. And very nice design, I really like it. Feels also very nice in the hand with the flat kind of design with the slight curves there on the glass on top of the display. That helps you with all the nice gestures that you have. It's very, very nice, I have to say, in the hand. It's a bit hefty, I would say, in comparison to some others, but feels very premium for sure. We have the power button, the volume rocker there. We have, of course, USB Type-C 3.2, I think. So fastest available currently. We have a dual nano SIM slot, a speaker there. And there's also a tiny speaker there, actually here in the top there, so it's utilizing the earpiece as a speaker. There I think we have an IR blast as well. Maybe this is also a speaker opening and a microphone opening there. Have to figure it out still. So let's power this device on. And while it's booting here, Vivo powered by Android, let's take a look at the case. You can see the case is protecting the camera bump for sure, and also the edges there are slightly raised to protect the display as well, which is, I think, also quite nice. They have a closed case, so buttons there for the volume rocker and power button as well. And there's a slight texture there on the side for the camera bump as well. So yeah, with the Vivo logo on top, it's, I think, a pretty nice case. The device started up. As you can see here, we have a front-facing camera there, 32 megapixels fixed focus. And Origin OS 5 is greeting us already with its present. So let's try to run through this real quickly. As always, the installer and Origin OS is available in a few languages. Here you can see some of the languages that it is available in. I just chose English and we just start up. I like those animations. They're very, very fancy done here by Origin OS. Then we have the fingerprint, Face ID and passcode. I want a fingerprint there. I have to, of course, first set up a lock screen password and then I can enroll my fingerprint there. It is not an optical one, it is an ultrasonic one, but in contrast to the X90 Pro Plus, where you only had to touch once with your finger on the very large sensor that was there, the ultrasonic one, this one requires you to have some other multiple touches there. It is secured by a secure chip here, which is quite nice. So it has been enrolled now. And let's dive into the system. The operating system that's running here is the Origin OS 5 based upon Android 15. You can see we have the Dimensity 9400 octa-core CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. which is quite nice. Blue Image V3 Plus and 6000 milliampere hour battery. So this is very huge. If you see this very thin device here, it's not really bigger or thicker than the X100 Ultra. This is just simply glorious. We can take a look at the storage space here as well. So we have the possibility to check out how much of the storage is available. And as you can see here, it's just 38 gigabytes that it's used. And we have 473 gigabytes free. It's a bit larger than other devices here, other systems, but still you have like a lot of free space that you can still use here for videos, for photos, because let's be honest, this is the device that you want to use for photos and for videos. So by default, this device comes with a very nice under-display finger screen reader, ultrasonic one, and both my fingers are scanned in, but I can also use my face, and as you can see here, it's quite quickly in unlocking. It's 2D face scan only, so keep that in mind. Usually Tradingshenzhen comes or Tradingshenzhen pre-installs this with Google applications, Google Play Store, and the keyboard. In this case, I got it from another tester, so it doesn't have this. He resetted everything. But I want to show you how to get Google services in the case that you get maybe a device that doesn't have this or someone resetted it. So you go to your system settings, and then you can search just simply for Google. When you first open up the keyboard, it asks you to switch language, and you say yes, and then you get an English keyboard layout, and you can see Google Basic Service Management. You click on this, you go to Google Basic Service Management, and you enable this one here. If you have this enabled, then you have the possibility to add also a Google account. There's the Google account option there, and you can just simply normally add your Google account. Be careful when entering your password, because this secure keyboard, if you go into Shift, you type something, it stays on Shift, and the same goes for some other things that you enter, like if you enter some special signs, you can see it stays on the signs, it's not jumping back to the normal keyboard. So be aware of this. This is the Vivo secure keyboard that, in my case, I think it's pretty annoying that it has this. I think the only one that does it very well with the secure keyboard is another brand here. You can guess what this was right now. It's the only one that get the secure keyboard right. Otherwise, just log in normally. And the only other thing that you have to do is then just install the Google Play Store, so you can go into the default browser, or you can just search here. Sometimes on the V App Store, it also makes sense to just search for something like Play Store. And there you find it already, Google Play Store, and you can click on install, but otherwise you can get it from ABK Mirror or somewhere else if you don't trust the store from Vivo. And it's installed right now. Actually, I think it just activates it in the background because it's there already. I can click on it, allow everything. I'm already logged in, as you can see. And then I have the possibility to update all my apps usually. Something went wrong. Try again. Lost internet connection. Or it's refreshing itself in the background. Usually you get like all your apps here as well, and you can just simply download and install them without any issues. It's refreshing in the background. This is why it's like closing itself. But this is how you get the Google Play Store working, and then you can install apps like Gboard, for example, if you want the other keyboard there. Or in my case, what I really like to use is SwiftKey, not because I like Microsoft, or God forbid, I don't like Microsoft, but their SwiftKey is pretty good and I really like to use it. And another tip, if you really don't like this secure keyboard, you can go into your input methods there, and then security input, just disable it, and then you don't get this secure keyboard. You get your keyboard of choice, in my case Microsoft Swift keyboard, without any issues. I can type in my passwords then there as well. Last but not least, if you change the browser, because yeah, the standard Chinese default Vivo browser is probably not the one that you want to use, you can go into your settings, apps, and then we have default apps there, and then you can choose the default application. So you can choose the default input keyboard here as well. Input method, the home screen you can also change. I'm not sure if this will work out with all the gestures and so on, but here you can choose the browser, and in this case I installed Chrome, for example, and I just say change there. I can do the same for some other applications here as well. You can see it's pretty powerful with the choice and amount of default applications that you can choose from here. You can see we have this gorgeous screen, 6.78 inch 120 Hz LTPO screen that promises to get 4500 nits of peak brightness here, which is fantastic, I would say, for such a device. But keep in mind, yeah, peak brightness, so that means like roughly 1500 maybe with the manual slider there, or with automatic even for the whole display. But still, it's a very punchy, very nice colored display that I can highly recommend there, and one of the best ones definitely out there on a smartphone right now. Let's try out the speakers. Like I said, there's a downfiring speaker, and then the earpiece is used as a speaker here. Full volume. I think it's quite bright sounding. This is what surprised me a little bit with the speakers there. They can get pretty loud for sure, but I think I miss a little bit of the bass and the warmer kind of mids. So it's a bit like clinical and cold kind of sound that you get out of this. It's not bad for sake, and it's not shrilly at any point, but still I'm missing a little bit of warmth here with the speakers. But nevertheless, well, top speakers, I would say. Another short tip, if you want to use your Google passwords instead of, or the Google autofill for passwords instead of whatever comes shipped with Vivo's Origin OS, you just go into your settings, search for autofill, and then you have passwords, autofill, and passkey service. You click on this and you just hit enable Google Password Manager, Google Pay, and Google Wallet. And if you have this enabled, you can change this one from password safe to Google as well, and click on change there, and now it is Google that is like fulfilling or autofilling in your passwords, and Google's password manager is now used. And this makes it almost like a global variant of this phone, which is quite nice. If you want to use Google's Gemini in the Gemini settings, mine is in German because my Google account is in German, you can go and set up the default app to be Google here as digital assistant, and then you should be able, let's try it. It's not possible. I think it is taking over the swipe gesture. It's not working like this, so you have to press on Google Gemini and go into the app itself and ask it, wie wird das Wetter morgen in Wesel? And it's like not even talking to me.
Morgen wird es in Wesel bewölkt bei Temperaturen zwischen 2 und 6 Grad.
So it's not as nicely integrated as on Xiaomi, where you can just simply replace the default voice assistant, and then with a swipe up, diagonal swipe there like this, you can just use it. The other one, if you press and hold here, it will start with the normal conversation with the Blue AI thing, Blue Copilot that Origin OS has, and this one is not very good in English. Sometimes it doesn't even get the phrases that I'm talking to it, so keep that in mind regarding the Google Assistant and Gemini. And before someone asks it, of course Android Auto is not working on this device yet. Maybe when the global version comes out, they will push out a release that allows us to use Android Auto on this one as well, like they did it on the predecessor, but we have to see still. Let's talk about the highlight of this device, the cameras. And this is a slight downgrade from the predecessor for the main camera sensor, because we have a 1/1.28 inch size camera sensor, which is the main camera sensor there. And yeah, we had a 1-inch one in the predecessor. But we have a largely upgraded 200 megapixel 1/1.4 inch sized sensor. It's the same that is also in this one here, the X100 Ultra that is recording this video, and we have a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle there as well. So triple lens setup there, and of course a 32 megapixel front facing camera that is hiding there in this little punch hole there. And I think I'm doing some camera samples now. It's dark outside, so keep that in mind. It will be indoors with a little bit of dim lit situation. But nevertheless, I want to provide you with some camera samples. Probably this is like mirrored, isn't it? Maybe it's not mirrored. This is the front-facing camera here, 32 megapixels, but it doesn't have any autofocus or something like this. It has 4K 30 and 4K 60 recording, and it's like an indoor situation because do we have some HDR there? It's dark outside already and it's windy and I don't want to go out to do this test. But there are lots of other good video tests out there already. And of course, I will do a camera comparison. This one here against... Maybe I can show it. I can show it differently. Vivo has one of the cool functions. I can switch from the front-facing camera to the back-facing cameras. So let's do this. This device here, which is, as you can see, uncanny shot there. It's the Vivo X100 Ultra. So we'll do definitely comparison between this as well. And of course, let's try to zoom in 3.7 times. Don't disappoint me. There we have another device, 10 times. This is the OnePlus 13. I will also do a comparison with this one. And let's do ultra wide angle. Maybe not this device there, maybe not. This device here, the Xiaomi 15 Pro as well. So these are the comparisons that I plan. Hopefully I manage to do this before Christmas. So let's see if this will work out. So what do you think about the camera samples here using an external microphone on the X200 Pro? So far, I'm liking it. Also the colors I'm liking so far, because I don't think they are so yellowish as they were with the X100 Ultra still. So we start off with some photos there. Quick shots, 3.7x zoom, as you can see here. This is 85mm, f2.67 and 1/33 of a second. And I have the default color profile, which is vivid, turned on. And look how sharp this looks like. Look how much detail you get out there. How nice of a bokeh you get. This is already out of bokeh, and how much creamy the bokeh there gets in the background. Very nice. I like this sensor already on the X100 Ultra, and here on the X200 Pro is definitely also not bad. Then a selfie portrait mode there. You can see that the selfie camera has 23mm f16. It shows there for this one here. I'm not sure why, but it makes everything nice and sharp. If I zoom in a bit too much, you can see it's definitely some noise there, and it's definitely over sharpened and over processing a little bit, but usually you don't, and this is what you get out of this. I turned off the mirror mode, and I turned also beautification off. This is how I look like naturally. 1x zoom here, 23mm and f1.57 is a very large opening. This is why you get like also a nice bokeh, and you could almost like say it's a 1-inch outdoor sensor there. You can see the nice out of focus area there, and we have this very nice HDR processing already by Vivo that we know already. So almost each of these individual LEDs are visible there in this little light there. Then we have the next one, which is an ultra wide shot. Just to show you here, 15mm, so it's not the widest. I think 14mm would be a bit better, but f2, which is like quite okay, and it looks fine to me. So can you see what I'm watching there on YouTube? What are my recommendations? Of course, some smartphones, of course, are recommended there, and they can see the Vivo X100 Ultra. If I zoom in a bit too much, you can see it's falling apart a bit, and it's a bit noisy for sure as well there. But I think first impression, it's the weakest sensor for sure on this device here. But it's doing an okayish kind of job in this like dim lit situation. Then 10x zoom here on this shot here with the vivid colors profiles. You can see like makes sense for those boxes like Moondrop Golden Ages here box. Very nice colors for this anime girl there. And you can see also the text is nice and readable here at 10x without any issues. I think they improved their algorithms even a little bit more there. There's a macro shot here, macro shot of a water boiler actually, a water cooker. That is a filter, everything combined. And I just wanted to photograph the water droplets there. This is at 7.4 times, I think, the magnification there. So if you go to super macro mode, you have 3.6 times and then 7.4 times, I think, the magnification options there. At least you can see 170 millimeter and a nice bokeh fall-off, even if you have f16 there. You can choose to have like a bokeh mode turned on or without bokeh mode turned on for the macro shots, which is quite cool. And then another macro shot here. This is now at also at 120 millimeter, 170 millimeter, sorry. And you can see the box and the little imprints there on the box itself. Very, very nice. So first impressions of the cameras. Yes, the ultra wide angle is the weakest, I would say. I even think that the selfie camera is okayish, better than the ultra wide angle there. And of course, yeah, the monster zoom tele camera here got even a little bit more improved than on the X100 Ultra, is my first impression at least. And the main camera sensor is surprisingly good as well, though, yeah, I doubt that it will beat really the 1-inch type sensor, but we have to see it in comparison first. Overall, my first impressions with the Vivo X200 Pro are very, very positive. It is a pretty good device. It lies very good in the hand. The only thing that I feel sometimes is a bit top heavy. I have the feeling that it's a bit like trying to fall on its camera bump there. It's pretty large still, even though we don't have a 1-inch type sensor in there. It is probably because the 200 megapixel telephoto lens is, or the sensor behind it is so large that it has to be this big. Otherwise, I'm pretty surprised they improved the camera system in regards to comparison to the X100 Ultra a little bit. At least out of the box experience is a bit nicer here on this one, especially when it comes to the videos there. I don't look like too yellowish there. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy about this device. The ultrasonic fingerprint sensor is there, back in the Pro model, which is quite nice. The device is very snappy, feels very nice. Original S5 is pretty good, and you can have it too for a very, very good price, I would say, now on Tradingshenzhen. If you're searching for a Christmas present, I think this one might be the one. I can understand fully why some people are calling this the phone of the year, because it is pretty good, and Vivo is making really huge steps to not only become the camera king in the smartphone world, but also the smartphone king in total, which is, I think, pretty nice, with their software improving and all the bits and pieces there. The only thing is, for people who want to buy it from Tradingshenzhen, keep in mind Google services are working here, but you don't get Android Auto support currently. You don't get the Google feed. You have like this Chinese widget kind of feed there, and we don't have Android Auto available currently for this device. And Gemini is like, you have to like press a button there to go to Gemini instead of like having just to swipe up. That's the only big things that I found that are a bit limiting here. But if you can live with this, then you can make a pretty good deal out of this one here on Tradingshenzhen right now. Just click the link down below. So enough of this advertisement there about this one here. But it's really, I wouldn't do this if I'm not like completely sold by this design here, by this device so far in my first impressions. I will of course test it and do a camera comparison with the X100 Ultra, with the Xiaomi 15 Pro, with the OnePlus 13, and maybe some other devices if I get to it. But so far I'm really liking what I'm seeing here on the Vivo X200 Pro, and it has my thumbs up definitely for this one here. And if you have some questions regarding the X200 Pro, write them down in the comment section. That's it. Until the next time. Bye.